Hey, folks, welcome to Shooting Up North. I'm your host, Lewis Carlin. We're heard right here on the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're watching for the first time, please consider hitting that subscribe button. If you want to follow me on social media, I'm on Twitter at Shooting Up North, Instagram at Alliance PW Network, and feel free to join our Facebook group, the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. In addition, if you want to own your very own Shooting Up North t-shirt, which is right here, if you want to own your very own Shooting Up North t-shirt, on our YouTube channel, at the top of the banner, the Shooting Up North banner, bottom right-hand corner, click on the Shooting Up North merchandise link, and it will take you to our store where you could order a t-shirt, you could order a hoodie, you could order a long sleeve shirt, you could order a tank top. If you have a toddler who wants a Shooting Up North shirt, we have toddler shirts as well. But go ahead, check it out, click on that link, and it'll take you to our store where you can own your very own Shooting Up North t-shirt. Okay, so let's get into what I want to discuss today. Not much going on in the news for Impact Wrestling, but I want to talk about this who I think is a tremendous young talent. I know Impact Wrestling, a lot of people, including myself, thinking that they have to get a big name, they have to sign a couple of big names, especially with the Good Brothers. Looks like the Good Brothers are leaving. It's opening up a ton of money. Impact Wrestling, hoping to get a big name like the Briscoes, signing the Briscoes, or maybe a Johnny Gargano into Impact Wrestling. I think would be fantastic to get a big name into Impact Wrestling. But in addition to the big names, Impact Wrestling should be looking at the young future stars. And I've mentioned a couple on past shows. I did a podcast on Alec Price. Alec Price, just an absolutely tremendous young wrestler. I really hope Impact Wrestling gives him an opportunity. He's just a fantastic young star. There's others. There's Kevin Blackwood is out there, who is a great talent. Marcus Mathers has great potential. Kylon King, Dustin Penner, also great potential. Titus Alexander, terrific potential as well. But there's one guy up in Canada. Who wrestles out of the Ottawa area. Big star for C4 Wrestling. Wrestles all over Ottawa, Seaway Valley Wrestling in Cornwall. He's branching out to the GTA as well. And I first saw this young kid in 2019, match against Stu Grayson for C4 Wrestling, and you could just see immediately that this kid was an absolute natural, and he was going to be a big star. And I'm talking about, I'm sure you're wondering who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Junior Benito. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Junior Benito. Hopefully you are. But if you aren't, definitely check out Junior Benito. Junior Benito, I think, is 19 years old, and he has such an incredible amount of talent for a 19-year-old kid. He's an absolute professional wrestling natural. Absolute natural. And it's not a matter of if he's going to be a big star. It's a matter of when he's going to get signed by a top promotion and become that big star, because he is going to be a huge star, my opinion, of course. And a hell of a lot of people share this opinion on Junior Benito. Again, he's up here big time in Canada. Again, wrestling in the Ottawa area, specifically for C4 Wrestling. And he's had a couple of high-profile matches over the past couple of months against Davey Richards, Anthony Green, Jeff Cobb, Alex Shelley was his most recent match for C4 Wrestling. And after every single match that he has, Alex Shelley, Jeff Cobb, Anthony Green, Davey Richards, they always seem to show him the respect he deserves, like shaking his hand, giving him a little, maybe a little advice in the ring. And I'm sure backstage they talk to him as well. And these matches that he's having right now, they're only making him a better professional wrestler. The match against Jeff Cobb was absolutely fantastic. He had fantastic job. And Junior Benito is a bit of a high flyer. But his match against Jeff Cobb was fantastic. The match against Alex Shelley was fantastic. The match against Anthony Green was fantastic. David Richards was fantastic. Back in 2020, he took on Josh Alexander as well, and I thought he held his own against Josh Alexander in another tremendous match for C4 Wrestling. C4 Wrestling, if you're not familiar, is one of the biggest promotions, if not, I would say the biggest. Well, there's Destiny Wrestling. It's one of the biggest promotions in Ontario. It's probably one of the best promotions that I enjoy watching the most is C4 Wrestling. But back to Stu Grayson. I mentioned he wrestled Stu Grayson in 2019. That was the first time I ever saw Junior Benito, as I mentioned. And again, when I wasn't familiar with him because I like I said, the first time I ever seen him. But when that match was over, I'm like, holy crap. This kid is going to be an absolute superstar. This kid is going to be an absolute superstar. And C4 Wrestling knows that. That's why they're matching him up against the Alex Shelleys, the Jeff Cobbs, the Anthony Greens, the Davey Richards of the professional wrestling world. And he holds his own against them, and he gives each and every one of them a tremendous match. And he's like, he's so smart in the ring. It just comes naturally. There are very few people, in my opinion, where it just comes so naturally to them. And Junior Benito is one of those guys. Junior Benito is one of those guys. And Impact Wrestling, like I said, when I mentioned they should be looking at big names, and I also mentioned that they should be going after the younger stars as well, the younger future stars, signing them to 3-4 year deals and let them become the next big stars of Impact Wrestling. Junior Benito, Impact Wrestling should, without a doubt, take a chance on Junior Benito, sign him up. Now, Junior Benito was trained by Evil Uno and Stu Grayson, and Junior Benito actually visited AEW Dark tapings not too long ago. He wasn't wrestling, but he was there to visit, so he's already on the radar, or so to speak. I guess you could say he's on the radar of AEW. Granted, Evil Uno and Stu Grayson was still with AEW when he visited the Dark taping. But Evil Uno, Stu Grayson brought him along. But you could say he might be on the radar of AEW right now. And if he gets to AEW, wherever he ends up, he deserves it 100%. That's why I'm saying, me being partial to Impact Wrestling, that's why I'm saying Impact Wrestling should take a chance. They should send a scout, send somebody to the Ottawa area and watch Junior Benito, because I think after that first match that they see, and maybe he's even on their radar, who knows, but they should, without a doubt, Impact Wrestling should, without a doubt, bring in Junior Benito. Again, I mentioned Alec Price. If they put in like Alec Price, Junior Benito, Titus Alexander from the West Coast, man, Kevin Blackwood, that's 4 potentially tremendous talents that they will be bringing in. And I think it's important for them to do that. I think it's important for them, especially with AEW out there signing up all the big names. I'm not saying when the Impact's not going to get some big names. There's a Johnny Gargano out there, as I mentioned, possibly the Briscoes, although I think the Briscoes might be leaning towards our Ring of Honor. But bring in the young guys. Bring in the young guys and build them up to be the next stars of Impact Wrestling. And Junior Benito would fit in there perfectly. He would fit in the X Division perfectly. He's an absolutely fantastic talent. Absolutely fantastic talent. IWTV, if you don't subscribe, if you want to watch some C4 Wrestling, subscribe to IWTV and check out Junior Benito. Check out Junior Benito against the guys that I mentioned, Shelley, Jeff Cobb, Anthony Green, Dave Richards. All fantastic matches. And Impact Wrestling should take a chance, man. They should take a chance. And it wouldn't be taking a chance because he's a blue chip prospect. in my opinion, he's a blue chip prospect, and he's going to hit it big. He's going to be a major star. And he was on a excursion in Europe actually recently, a very successful excursion in Europe, where the promotions that he wrestled for, they tweeted out that they were so impressed with him and they can't wait for him to come back. This is the type of young stars that Impact Wrestling needs, and he's only, I think, 19 years old. He's 18 or 19. I think he's 19, only 19 years old right now. He's got his whole career ahead of him in professional wrestling, and he's got so much talent at 19. He ends up putting him over. I hope no one's getting tired of me putting him. I'm putting over Junior Benito because the kid is freaking phenomenal. Freaking phenomenal. And Impact Wrestling should, without a doubt, take a shot on Junior Benito. And I'm hoping that Junior Benito in Impact Wrestling, because I actually have had Junior Benito on the show. I interviewed him about 2 months ago. It was after the Anthony Green match. After the Anthony Green match, I had Junior Benito on, and I spoke. We did an interview with him, and I had him on a few years ago as well. When I first saw him, I knew I had to get him on, and so I had him on before COVID hit. I had him on as well. But he's going to be a big star. And I'm really hoping one day I look at Fightful, or I look at PW Insider, or I look at the Impact Wrestling Twitter feed, and it says Impact Wrestling has signed Junior Benito. I'm hoping we see that. And like I said, I spoke with Junior Benito, and he would welcome to be signed. He would welcome to be part of the Impact Wrestling roster. He would love to be a part of the Impact Wrestling roster. Let me get that sentence correct. He would love to be a part of the Impact Wrestling roster, and hopefully one day Junior Benito will have that X Division championship around his waist. I think he will be a terrific X Division champion. I'm not sure if he wrestled Mike Bailey. I'm sure he has. I'm trying to think. I'm not sure. I'm not going to say that he has. I'm not sure. But Mike Bailey against Junior Benito would be a fantastic match. They might have met in C4, maybe 2020, 2019. But I could say if Junior Benito ever gets signed by Impact Wrestling, he's a future X Division champion, 100% for sure. And like I said, there's Junior Benito. I'm going to mention the other names again. If the four guys I would love for them to sign, Junior Benito, of course, Alec Price, as I mentioned, Kevin Blackwood, Titus Alexander, and there's Marcus Mathers as well. There's more than four guys, actually. Marcus Mathers actually has potential as well. Then you got Dustin Panner, Kylon King. They're a great young tag team. I think would be fantastic as well. So there's a lot of great young talent out there that Impact Wrestling should be looking at. In addition to bringing in some hopefully some bigger names. But this podcast is about Junior Benito. Hopefully one day Junior Benito will be wrestling inside an Impact Wrestling ring, signed to a 3 or 4 year contract. Okay, there we go. I got it out. All right, so we're going to leave it at that. Anything else breaks? Any big news breaks tonight? I'll be back. But until then, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye. And stay safe every once in a while. Bye-bye.